The breaking news, nobody saw this coming. For 2 years, Bill Hader and Ollie Wong quietly became one of the most unexpected yet admired couples in comedy. No public drama.
No messy headlines.
Just two powerhouse creatives seemingly making it work on their own terms. And then, just like that, it was over. No explosive fallout, no scandals splashed across tabloids, just a sudden split that left fans asking the same question: what actually happened behind the scenes? Because when two people this busy, this successful, and this respected walk away so calmly, it usually means there's more to the story than a simple goodbye. And as details started to surface, it became clear this breakup wasn't about betrayal or bad blood, but about something far more relatable and far more complicated. Bill Hader isn't just another comedian. He's one of the most respected creative minds in Hollywood. From his breakout years on Saturday Night Live to his critically acclaimed work on Barry, Bill built a reputation for being both hilarious and deeply complex. He's the kind of performer who disappears into his work, often choosing challenging, emotionally heavy projects over safe success. Off-screen, he's known for being private, almost guarded, especially when it comes to his personal life. Ollie Wong, on the other hand, commands attention the moment she steps into a room. Her stand-up specials turned her into a cultural force almost overnight, blending sharp humor with brutally honest storytelling about relationships, motherhood, and ambition. Beyond comedy, she's proven herself as a serious actress and producer, with projects that consistently spark conversation. Ollie's public persona is bold and fearless, but behind it is a relentless work ethic that keeps her constantly moving. Together, they felt like an unlikely but perfect match. Two artists at the top of their game, navigating fame in completely different ways, yet somehow meeting in the middle. And that contrast is exactly why their relationship fascinated so many people from the start. Their relationship didn't explode onto the scene with flashy red carpets or carefully staged appearances. It started quietly, almost under the radar, which only made people more curious. Reports began circulating that Bill and Ollie were spending more time together, and before long, it became clear this wasn't just a casual fling. Fans quickly picked up on their chemistry, two comedians with completely different styles somehow syncing perfectly. What made their relationship stand out was how low-key it stayed. They weren't constantly posting each other online or turning their romance into a brand. Instead, they were spotted supporting each other's work, showing up when it mattered, and keeping the rest private. In an industry where overexposure is the norm, that restraint felt refreshing. As time went on, their bond seemed to deepen. Both had been through public divorces before, both were balancing demanding careers with parenthood, and that shared understanding appeared to bring them closer. To many fans, they looked like proof that love could exist quietly in Hollywood, until that image suddenly started to crack, and questions began swirling about whether their worlds were simply pulling them in different directions. The confirmation came without fanfare, which somehow made it hit harder. People reported that Bill Hader and Ollie Wong had officially gone their separate ways after 2 years together. No dramatic statement. No cryptic posts. Just a simple acknowledgement that the relationship had ended. What stood out immediately was the tone. Sources described the split as very amicable, emphasizing that there was no bitterness behind the decision. According to reports, this wasn't a sudden blow-up or a breaking point that spilled into public view. It was a quiet ending, the kind that happens when two people realize timing matters just as much as feelings. And while breakups in Hollywood often come with rumors flying in every direction, this one felt unusually calm. Almost too calm, which naturally led people to wonder, if there was no drama, no betrayal, no public fallout, then what actually caused two people who seemed so aligned to walk away? According to sources close to the situation, the breakup wasn't fueled by conflict, it was pressure. Reports claimed the real challenge came down to timing, distance, and responsibilities that neither of them could step away from. Ollie Wong is preparing for a major stand-up tour, a commitment that demands constant travel, late nights, and long stretches away from home. At the same time, Bill Hader is locked into multiple film and TV projects, each requiring intense focus and unpredictable schedules. When you add family into the mix, things get even more complicated. Both Bill and Ollie are parents, and insiders suggest that juggling kids alongside careers at this level left little room for a relationship to breathe. It's been said that neither wanted to sacrifice their professional momentum or family stability, and eventually, something had to give. Rather than forcing it or letting resentment build, sources say they made the difficult call to step back. Not because the connection was gone, but because the reality of their lives kept pulling them in opposite directions. And while that explanation sounds simple on the surface, what followed revealed just how uncommon this kind of Hollywood breakup really is. What surprised people most wasn't the breakup itself, it was how both of them handled it. Sources say there's no bad blood, no lingering tension, and no attempt to rewrite the narrative. In fact, reports suggest they're still very much in each other's lives, just in a different way. Friends describe them as supportive, respectful, and genuinely rooting for one another as they move forward. Instead of cutting ties, it's been said they stayed in touch, choosing friendship over distance. That detail alone set this split apart from the usual Hollywood endings, where silence and subtle shade often do the talking. Here, there was none of that. Just two people acknowledging that their paths no longer aligned and walking away without burning bridges. Naturally, that calm response sparked even more curiosity. Fans flooded social media with reactions ranging from disappointment to admiration, praising how mature the situation seemed. But as the conversation grew, so did speculation about what comes next, not just for their careers, but for how this breakup might reshape the way people see them going forward. In many ways, this breakup may have done the opposite of damaging their reputations. It humanized them. Instead of a messy ending that invites sides and scandals, Bill and Ollie's split reinforced the image they've both carefully built over the years, grounded, thoughtful, and deeply focused on their craft. Fans didn't rush to place blame. Instead, the reaction online leaned toward understanding, with many saying this felt like a real-life reminder that timing can matter more than chemistry. Still, that didn't stop the internet from buzzing. Some fans speculated about whether distance was really the only issue, while others wondered if the pressure of being in the public eye quietly took its toll. To be clear, none of that has been confirmed, just the usual swirl of theories that follows any high-profile breakup. What stood out, though, was how quickly those rumors lost steam, largely because neither Bill nor Ollie fed into them. By staying silent and respectful, they avoided becoming tabloid characters and instead remained what audiences already saw them as: serious artists who don't turn personal moments into public spectacle. And as both move forward with packed schedules and new projects, one thing is clear. This chapter may be closed, but how they handled it could shape how they're viewed long after the headlines fade. At the end of the day, the story of Bill Hader and Ollie Wong isn't about heartbreak or drama. It's about priorities, timing, and respect. Two people who clearly care for each other recognize that life was pulling them in different directions, and instead of forcing something that couldn't fully work, they chose to step back. It's a reminder that even in Hollywood, where relationships often play out on camera, some breakups can be quiet, mature, and surprisingly graceful. Fans may be left wondering what could have been, but the bigger takeaway is how both are handling this change, focusing on their work, their families, and their own growth, while still supporting each other as friends. In a world where celebrity breakups often end in scandal or bitterness, this one stands out.